Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube. I'm not TikTok famous. Not as TikTok famous as these fools. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2020. The album, Dad AF. Oh, baby, I love the way that you are. Rock on, gold dust. I went to a party last Saturday night. Kiss me once. Come on, pretty baby. Kiss me deadly. A little Lita Ford for you guys on this Friday afternoon, going into this Friday evening. Hi, how are you? This is a follow-up video to my video yesterday. My video yesterday was about Trisha Paytas coming for James Charles, who was defending his friend Charlie D'Amelio, apparently the most popular person in the entire world. So, a lot has occurred. A lot has occurred in the last 24 hours. And before we get in this video, I just want to say that I will be, my information, I dropped my glasses, I need my readers, see, because I'm old. Apparently you can't be old on YouTube or TikTok or the Instagram or anywhere. But anyway, what was I going to say? A lot has occurred in the last 24 hours, okay? So much so that I have had to do deep investigations, because basically I am, the biggest media guru, journalist, researcher, East Coast of the Mississippi. Anyway, so I've been looking at Deaf Noodles Twitter, so a lot of my information comes from Dennis and Spill Sesh and all of the people out there. So thank you for posting all this and keeping me updated. And thank you, Jeffree Star, for making a statement about something that has absolutely nothing to do with you. Imagine you not wanting to be in drama in 2020 and you inserting yourself right in the middle of drama that has absolutely, literally nothing to do with you. I don't know what that was about, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. Now, I got this comment on my video yesterday, and someone said, Peter, this was from Brenda. Brenda said, Peter, I know you don't jump on bandwagons. Everyone is coming for these girls for being so rude. But I do feel like you didn't really comment a lot on this main event of the video. I didn't really get clear thoughts from you, and I'm curious as to why. So I have a lot of this stuff screenshot, and I'm going to kind of talk about each thing one by one, and I have some pretty strong feelings about a lot of this. But I want to go back to what the I want to go back to what the original event was, which was this family dinner video that was Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio and their parents, and the guest star was James Charles, okay? I went and I watched this video. Now, before I made my video yesterday, I had not watched this video. So I went today and I watched this video because Charlie had lost 1 million followers, supposedly over the fact that she had said on there that she, was coming up on, she had 100 million followers instead of the 95 million that she had. I think it was 97 actually at the time that the video came out. And a lot of people thought that she needed to be humbled, and they thought that she had no humility, and blah, blah, blah. I actually addressed humility yesterday in my video and talked a lot about it because I think a lot of these influencers lack any kind of humility whatsoever, and I stand by that statement today. But I did watch this video, and I have to tell you, going into this, now I'm not stupid. I know who Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio are. I've watched tons of their TikToks. I've watched a lot of their videos. I have to say, I'm not a believer that one platform kind of, goes into another. It's why a lot of Vine artists made it right. This is the thing, okay? None of these people, I have to actually tell you guys some of the tweets that I tweeted out this morning because I woke up and I just saw this whole, SHI Toot show that was all over the place. And I was just like, this is a lot. I've kind of had it at this point. So I originally tweeted out, I said, hold on a second. The entitlement I woke up to today on social media is unreal. And then I posted, just unreal, a bunch of absolute children. And this is everybody, okay, involved in the whole situation. How about you try finding a little bit of gratitude for the unimaginable lives you've been handed for doing very little. And then I said, P.S., my comments have very little to do with the lonely doll. He's just bitter. The drama isn't about him. Boring. Next. And then I said, the best part of waking up Is lip gloss on your lips? How could I totally forget that part of my video? So anyway, I think that part of the problem is that personalities of TikTokers, much like Vine, often don't translate to YouTube, okay? You're talking about longer videos, you're talking about all this kind of stuff. I'm not really convinced at this point. I know people are obsessed with the D'Amelio sisters and all that kind of stuff because they're so popular on TikTok. I don't feel like their personalities necessarily translate to YouTube, and I guess we'll see over time how that happens. I've watched several of Charli D'Amelio's videos. She seems very shy to me. She seems like, I think to some degree, kind of maybe a sheltered young lady, and as she should be. She seems very, I know that there's a lot of stuff that has come out about her and dating and all this, hanging out around these influencers and blah, 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 and maybe it's all an act, I don't know. But to some degree, she seems kind of age appropriate, although I have to say, after watching this dinner video with them, I acted, even the rebellious fool that I was, 10 times more mature than either one of these girls acted when I was 14 or 15. And in the video, Charli, I believe, is 16 and Dixie is 19. Dixie acts a lot younger than Charli does in the video. I will say this, I didn't think that anything that happened in the video was deserving of losing 1 million subscribers. This is just my opinion. You can come for me. I watched it with a totally objective eye. I don't care about any of these people, okay? I mean, I can tell you 10 years from now, I'm not going to be following the careers of the D'Amelio sisters unless I'm still doing drama videos. You know what I mean? I don't care that deeply. I have no emotional investment. And I was really, to be honest with you, almost kind of watching more for the parents, to see their parents' reaction. The mom actually does call Dixie out several times in the video. The dad, to me, seems very, very excited about this career for his girls. This is a new thing to him, and he actually addresses it in this interview that I watched that they have on their channel as well. It's this in-depth sit-down interview. And, okay, so the part that everybody is coming for Charli on when she says, she and James are having this, exchange, and he says something to her about where she was. They have these very, okay, it's supposed to be just this flowing conversation, but there's very staged questions in the sit-down dinner, right? And the dad is asking James things was anything a surprise in his career? And he talks about the Vogue photo shoot and all this kind of stuff. And then Dixie says, or Charli says something to the effect of, it's been it hasn't been a year yet. It'll be a year on a certain date. And wouldn't it have been cool if she goes, I just kind of wish I would have had 100 million followers, the second, the year anniversary or whatever. It is, okay, I have to just say, in all honesty, and I understand how people think, she's oh, not grateful for having, it doesn't come across that way, you guys. It really doesn't. It comes across as a kid just saying, I think it'd be kind of cool to have 100 million followers. It really, really does. And I watched it with a completely objective eye. And in fact, in the video, other than the fact that she makes all these goofy faces to her parents and stuff, she seems very, very kid-like to me. She's constantly and doing all this kind of stuff. And to her sister across the table. Other than that, she doesn't seem that off-putting. She seems very sweet in the video. The whole family seems kind of sweet, Dixie D'Amelio, on the other hand, I mean, she is literally 19, going on about 15 in this video. There's a part where she spits out this food, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't come across as, I mean, she goes outside and they know she's, and her mom's like, oh, always Dixie doing dramatics and whatever, and the chef comes out and they kind of have this exchange. It's disrespectful, maybe, but it's funnier when you watch the video. If you haven't watched the video, you've got to go watch the video, right? Because I hadn't, and watching it back, it just really, to be honest with you, it wasn't this big of a deal that everybody is blowing this out to be. It is ridiculous, okay? This whole situation is so ridiculous how much it's blown out of proportion. So I watched this and I'm like, okay, the dad is asking James Charles a lot of questions and business questions. And it's funny because Mark is kind of talking to James on the same, they're on the same level. The other thing you can see is that James' maturity level is also a lot higher than these girls, okay? And you can really tell in this video that James is trying to be a mentor, okay, to Dixie and Charli. And I don't even think it's just their age. I think it's their newness to the business and to the industry, so the entertainment industry, that they don't really understand a lot. Because at one point, James is talking about how he said to Charli at one point, you got to get more serious about these contracts and you got to know what's going on with the business end of it, and she didn't want to. She's just 16 years old, okay? You know, now I will say this, at some of the ways that they acted at the table, I can tell you, like, like the chef comes out and brings, this is the thing nobody wants to talk about, okay? Yes, there's this scene with Dixie D'Amelio. What happened was, he hides this thing in there, I think it's like, it's some kind of seafood, I can't remember what, like, anyway, he hides it in the food, and it's supposed to be like good luck, right? And she doesn't know that it's going to be there, and then she eats it thinking it's going to taste like something else. The rest of the time, when he brings the food to the table, they are literally above and beyond thankful and grateful for the food. I mean, they're like, every time he brings the food, they're like, oh my God, it looks so good. It looks so delicious. This food is so great. I mean, they're very complimentary to the chef, okay? Who they also say is a good friend of the family. So, I don't know. My opinion really changed a lot in watching this video. I then went in and I watched this interview, the sit-down interview that they did with some guy. I don't know where if they did the interview or what. It's the dad on one end, Dixie, Charlie, and the mom, right? And I watched a lot of it, and you know what you can really tell is, like, there's even a question that comes up, and they say, who's the one that like likes the attention the most? And they all point to the dad. You can tell the dad absolutely eats all of this up, okay? You can also tell that he's very, very proud of his daughters and how, like, the fact that this is new to them. Like, they're very excited about this. Like, this is kind of like, you know, the idea of getting like new money and you go out and you buy like a sports car and this and all these Louis Vuitton bags and a new house because it's new money. It's very much that with like this new kind of like fame, right? Like the dad doesn't really know what to do with it. He talks about being from the same small town in Connecticut and that he thought he'd be there, you know, his whole life and whatever. And then the mom, she even talks about clapping back because of the criticism that Charlie's received, and she owns it. It's like, I was kind of real impressed. I thought I would watch these parents, and they would just be like momagers and whatever. They're no worse than Kris Jenner, you know? Like, you can tell they're trying to do the best for their daughters. And the mom even addressed certain dances that she doesn't like Charlie doing and said, you know, we asked her to take those dances down and things like that. Like, I don't know. They impressed upon me as being better parents than I expected them to be, having witnessed a lot of the parents. Like, I mean, you guys want to, let's talk about Tana Mojo's parents through all of this, you know, and Jake and Logan Paul's parents through all of this. You know, they seem to me to really, and even James Charles, at one point he says in the dinner that he wanted to move his whole family out to California, and that his dad's not really sold on that idea. You know, even James Charles' parents haven't been super involved in his career, and we know that, right? Because James has kind of shared some of that. But, like, he just posted a picture of their birthdays yesterday. I think it was yesterday, so happy birthday to the Charles parents. But anyway, I know that's not their last name. But they impressed upon me, and this is just my totally objective point of view, as being new to this whole scene and kind of doing the best that they can and kind of trying to, as parents, kind of maneuver all of this. Dixie seemed to me to be the most lacking maturity and the most, I don't know, like, in the interview, you can kind of tell there's a little bit of a bitterness, jealousy there that she has towards Charlie. That's just my opinion. And you can almost kind of see it come out, like, in the dinner that they're having, too. Like, she's very much like, look at me, look at me. She needs a lot of attention. And when you are watching this interview, it's very similar to that, too, when you kind of tell the story, where when they ask her question, he asks her, like, are you ever jealous of Charlie? And she even kind of says, yeah, like, at some points I am, and whatever, and even in the interview that they do, like, Dixie's like all like this, and Charlie's like sitting up like this. And she's very mature, very posed. Her answers are very posed. So, you know, I think the parents are just kind of trying to maneuver their way the best they possibly can through all of this. Do I think that they've done the best job possible? No. Do I think they are now just parents that are just cashing in on their kids' fame and whatever? No. You know, like, the dad makes it a point in this interview to explain that they chose to move to California to be part of it. And Dixie and Charlie both talk about how they really like still living at home with their parents and coming home and being a family unit together. And maybe that's all BS. I don't know. But it didn't seem like it to me. So I watched the interview. That's what I think about it now. Do I think that Charlie deserves to lose 1 million subscribers or followers off of making this comment? No. It was a really innocent comment that a 16-year-old would make. I'm sorry, I would have made the same comment at 16 years old, okay? We're coming too hard for these girls. This is just the reality. And even at 19 years old, I didn't really have my crap together, okay? I mean, and to be honest with you, if you had ever put a video on our family dinner, whoo! I mean, that was more like Jerry Springer kind of stuff back in the day, okay? On our family dinners, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, like, the mom to me seems like a little bit like she wants to be young and be like Charlie and Dixie and all that kind of stuff, but the parents aren't super old anyway, like, you know, and they kind of seem like fun parents to me, you know, that are also trying to do their best as being parents. So I don't know, that's just my total objective opinion, having watched both of those interviews, the dinner video and whatever. The thing is, when I watched the video, I think if you watched it back, you would know, if you are aware of how critical people are, you would know this video was going to receive criticism, okay, for several different things that happen in there. And it's not just that. I mean, at the beginning, they're like guessing who the superstar person's gonna be, and they're like guessing all of these like huge famous people, right? And James comes out and they're like, oh, it's James Charles, like kind of like they're not even really that excited that it's James Charles, like he's a superstar, you know? And it is kind of like but I knew it was gonna be James Charles. But anyway, that's kind of what I thought about all that. Well, then this whole thing with Trisha Paytas, James Charles, Charlie, and Dixie blew up, okay? I don't even know how to get this stuff in order, so I'm just going to say this, first of all. Somebody in here wanted to know, hold on, let me get into my receipts. Whitney, whatever you want. So, okay, somebody said, not gonna lie, I am excited to see Peter's next video reacting to James' reply and hear his thoughts about it. The next that was from Jenna. And then Royally Rhonda said, I can't wait until the next video. This one is already out of date. So if you guys would like to know what James Charles had to say, I'm going to show it to you now. This is from his TikTok, and then I will tell you what I had to say afterwards. Here you go.
To insinuate that the relationship between Charlie and I is anything other than just a friendship is absolutely disgusting. I don't need Charlie, and Charlie does not need me. I became friends with the D'Amelio family as a whole very, very early on because this is all very, very new to them, and I wanted to be a friend and a mentor in any way that I possibly could. And Charlie and I, despite not being the same age, had one thing in common, which was coming to the spotlight at a very, very young age. This is something that Trisha has never experienced because the only reason she is in the spotlight is because she has said racist things. She said the N-word, she's done blackface, she offended the trans community, she offended the DID community. She said Hitler wasn't that bad of a guy, voted for Trump, and has started a fight with about every single other creator on this platform. You are in no position to be talking about me and my career, so I highly recommend that you stop starting fights with people that are half your age, pack it up, and work on holding yourself and your best friends around you because they and you are the problem.
James Charles told Trisha Paytas, didn't he? Here's the thing that kind of makes me sad, first of all, is that TikTok started as being like this really fun platform, you know, where people did really funny stuff and dances. Like my husband loves to just sit there and roll through TikTok, and he sends me real funny ones, and then I send him really funny ones. Why are we taking all of these tell-all drama deals to the TikTok now? I don't really understand it, okay? I will tell you that one of the things that was interesting that was brought to my attention was that underneath here, Perez Hilton commented and said he did not stutter. And James Charles responded to Perez Hilton and said, you were standing her 30 minutes ago, referring to Trisha Paytas. Get off my page, old man. Okay, James Charles, now listen. If you want us to respect you, okay, for your age, and to give you guys passes when you're younger, and to understand that you guys are younger and you're going to make mistakes, don't come for us and call us old men and things like that, okay? I'm just saying, okay, let's leave the ageism remarks off, okay? We don't need to go there and all that kind of stuff. That being said, first of all, I just have to say, I received this comment. I gotta read the comment or it won't make sense. Hold on a second. Let me get to my comments again about the Trisha Paytas thing. Because somebody, hold on a second here. I mean, they make a good point, but I want to see what you guys have to say about it, okay? So I received this comment from Jolie. She said, I see nothing wrong with Trisha commenting on a very high trending topic. That's what drama channels do. They talk about drama trends. Okay. Trisha Paytas is not a drama channel, first of all. I totally take full ownership that that's what drama channels do. But Trisha Paytas is not a drama channel. I'm not really sure what Trisha Paytas' channel is at this point. I don't know if it's a mukbang channel. I don't know if it is a review and food channel. I got one of those, so I'm not criticizing. I don't know if it's her pushing her OnlyFans. I don't know really what her channel is anymore. I have no clue whatsoever. All I do know is, and a lot of people when I made this comment yesterday were like, her videos on the Frenemies thing is doing very well. Yes, her Ethan Klein Frenemies podcast is doing very well. Her channel is not. It's not getting great views these days. So James makes a good point when he says you might want to worry about yourself and call out your friends, because She calls James out. I edited the part out at the beginning because, you know, YouTube doesn't like those words and stuff. But she basically accuses James Charles of the same things that Shane Dawson has been accused of, right? And so what James is saying is, you are going to come for me, but you're not going to come for your own friend. Like, seriously? And there's a lot of truth to that, you know? Like, I mean, and the thing is, this is where you can't really win with Trisha, if that's your point, which is why enter this to begin with. Why even entertain this argument with Trisha Paytas? Because all she wants is drama. All she wants is attention off of this, and you're totally giving it to her, right? As am I by doing this video. But the thing is that she doesn't care. Like, she even came out in a TikTok and she said, everybody wants to cancel me. Everybody wants to call me trash. I don't really care. I probably am anyway. Cancel me, cancel me, cancel me. She doesn't care. She acts like she doesn't care. So, you know, it's like you can't really win with Trisha anyway. So this person goes on and says, they talk about drama trends. Why does nobody ever call out drama channels for inserting their noses in others' business? Honey, it happens every single day. Every single day, people tell me, why are you inserting your nose into this? It has nothing to do with you, old man, blah, blah, blah. This is none of your business, okay? Let's not make videos trashing Trisha for inserting herself, all the while making videos and giving your opinion on a trending matter, saying the exact same things. It's seriously hypocritical. I'm a drama channel. I'm a drama channel, okay? I'm a gossip tea channel. That's what I do, okay? I discuss the gossip and tea. Did you come here thinking you were going to see a Smiling Cats channel? You know what? That's not what you're going to get over here. You know what I mean? Like, did you come over here thinking this was sports commentary? It's not, okay? You're not going to see soccer balls. You're not going to see, you might see, I don't know, some kind of balls over here, but you ain't going to see those kind. Family friendly. Love or hate Trisha, and she may very well be the biggest hypocrite of the world. She might be. You might be right. But let's not be hypocritical in questioning someone else's nosiness and inserting themselves while doing the exact same thing on the exact same topic. It's comical, actually. Actually, what's comical to me is that you don't understand the purpose and why drama tea channels do what they do. Would you turn on ETV and expect to see something other than what you see them talking about the Kardashians or whoever else I'm talking about? No, that wouldn't make sense. But if you turned on the Reba McEntire show, would you expect them to be talking about the Kardashians on that show? No, it would seem a little bit off-putting, wouldn't it? Okay? You know what I'm talking about? You wouldn't look up Anderson Cooper on CNN and expect that he is over there talking about, I don't know, something to do with Kim Kardashian. You just wouldn't, right? Like, it wouldn't make sense to you. So that's all I'm saying is it doesn't make sense. Why does Trisha Paytas continue to put herself into everybody's business? She has every right, okay, to have her opinion. I will say, I totally agree with this about Trisha Paytas. All these people want to say, get my name out of your mouth, get my name out of your mouth. And Trisha's like, you're a public figure. I can say whatever I want to say. I 100% agree with that. I absolutely 100% agree with Trisha Paytas. She has a right to her opinion, okay? So all these people saying, get your name out of my mouth, that is comical to me, okay? But why is she wanting to have an opinion about it? What is it doing for her? The thing is, people forget about Trisha sometimes is that Trisha is not stupid. The trolling she does, the things that she does, it's very calculated. I don't know that people really have ever gotten that, and they think it's just all of this. It's very calculated. When you listen to the Frenemies podcast, and she talks about her schedule of getting up in the morning, and she has to do this TikTok at this time, and get her into her costume at this time, so she can be over at his house to film the podcast. So I mean, she is a businesswoman. Trisha Paytas hustles like nobody's business. Okay, so all of this is very, very thought out. The 40 to 50 TikToks that were now taken down, I don't know why, off of her, she said TikTok took them down. You know, it's all very calculated. There's all a reason for why that is all there, okay? So, if you don't want to give Trisha Paytas the time of day and you don't want to give her the power, don't feed into it. You've lost the game at that point, right? Like, if this is all about power and control and keep your name out of my mouth, at that point, you've already lost. By the way, Jeffree Star put up in news that will keep you totally sane, Jeffree Star put out this Instagram story today, which he quickly deleted, okay? I've had a lot of people send it to me, but I'm not putting it up there, okay? And basically, it's one of these. What we're not gonna do, what we're not gonna... What? He's talking about how people yesterday were saying, you know, something about, I don't know, involved him in drama that he wasn't even aware was existing because he doesn't ever get on social media. He's such a liar. He's on social media all the time blocking people, in my opinion, okay? But anyway, he's doing all this kind of stuff. People were saying maybe you ought to pay attention to your green palette instead of focusing so much on drama that didn't have anything to do with you to begin with. So he puts out this Instagram story. Apparently, he also put out a Twitter saying, if we're not friends anymore, keep my name out of your mouth. What is all these people talking about? Keep their name out of your mouth. Keep my name in your mouth. Keep on talking about me, okay? Listen, people are talking about you. You must be getting to them somehow. You know what I mean? And Trisha Paytas knows that, and that's why she keeps doing this. So let's go on and let's look at all the other madness that happened. Okay, so then... I'm reading this Us Magazine article here. TikTok star Dixie D'Amelio addresses backlash over rude personal chef video with sister. So then they all come out, and they're here. I'm looking for Dragula. The Resurrection is on Shudder, in case you want to know. It's right there. So anyway, Dragula Resurrection is a Shudder exclusive. Somebody sent me. Oh, here's where I put this up last night. My TikTok, my Twitter fleets, is that what they're called? Beats. I was watching the Club Kids on Geraldo from back in the day. But anyway, so Dixie D'Amelio did this video where she's dancing to Trisha Paytas saying the N-word from, I don't know, 1983 or something. It's too much to me, okay? The video was cringe. It was cringe when Trisha did it. She's made 10 apologies she said about it. And then Dixie D'Amelio pulls it, and she does this dance to it, okay? It was cringe. This is where, in those moments, these people need PR people. Unless they're really trying to boost the drama and stuff, she should have just risen above it and not said anything. These people need to just... And Trisha has said in her thing, she said they haven't even taken any accountability or apologized for it. And I haven't witnessed that yet. I haven't witnessed any of that. If they really feel like they should, I don't know. After watching the family dinner, I don't really know, like, what I think. Like, I mean, if you're going to get in and make an apology, really believe it. Maybe they don't believe they owe the world an apology, you know? But then for this to go back and forth, and then James to come out and say all this kind of stuff, and then James made some comment underneath here. He said something about get it, girl, or something like that. And then she comes out and she says, I deleted the video because my point that I was trying to make was proven and I don't need to promote a racist sound, she said. I made my point, it's done, it's over, and Charlie is a queen, good night. And so, okay, all that. And then, I'm reading this off of Def Noodle, so I'm going to link Dennis's Twitter down below. Y'all want to know all the tea, go to Dennis at Def Noodles, and his videos are absolutely hilarious. He said something about, his profile says he wants to be like Stephen Colbert. He is. He's hilarious. I love his videos. Go check him out. If you have not watched Def Noodles videos, you've got to watch them. But anyway, I'm just basically reading off his tweets right here. So, thank you, Dennis. I really appreciate it. I'm going to link your Instagram and your YouTube below. So, he says, today in Shay, Dixie D'Amelio dances to audio of Trisha Paytas rapping the song by NWA, F the Police. Did y'all remember that song back in the day? Oh, Lord. Trisha says the N-word in the audio. James Charles responded saying, get her, okay? Then Dixie D'Amelio said in a caption, I couldn't find the sound for this dance, so I chose a random one. Hope that's okay. Anyway, let's get back to the Renegade. My battery died. Okay. Then Charli D'Amelio, she comes out. Here's a little screenshot of Charli D'Amelio. She comes out in this TikTok. They're all taking to the TikTok now. Okay, it's so ridiculous. And she comes out and talks about Trisha Paytas as being mean. Keep your name out of my mouth. Y'all better just keep your name out of my mouth. I don't F with any of you people. Jeffree Star today trying to make this drama about him. Girl, that's cute. Yeah, that's cute. You're trying to edit the book The Lonely Doll and take a page from Trisha Paytas' book and put it into your own, but it don't work, okay? I know you have the most powerful wand in the world at Hogwarts, okay? But even that wand can't make this drama about you, Jeffree Star, no matter, because you know what? Nobody cares about you anymore, okay? And you ain't in this, okay? You're not in this. So, just, if you don't want to be part of drama and nobody's talking about you anyway, that's probably a good day to not put yourself into the drama. I'm just saying. That to me, I saw it. I was like, everybody on my Twitter was like, oh, Jeffree Star. I was like, this is not about Jeffree. Nobody cares about Jeffree Star today. This isn't about, if people want to be in the drama, leave it to them. So anyway, Charli comes out with this whole thing. Then, of course, okay, then Def Noodles, he said, clap back of the day, Charli D'Amelio responds to Trisha Paytas saying Trisha has been completely rude to her the whole time. Charli asked Trisha to stop talking about her. And then Trisha Paytas responds to Dixie D'Amelio and said, I said this 10 years ago and have since apologized numerous times. This is from me. I got this from Trisha's Twitter. This isn't from Dennis. You danced and smiled to it yesterday. Where's your apology? Not cool in 2020, girl. And so then it goes on and on and on. Oh, by the way, Jeffree Star has since deleted this Instagram story and his Twitter tweet he put out. Then Trisha said, TikTok may not like that I call out inappropriate relationships with, you know, certain influencers that are under a certain age, but Twitter is the wild, wild west, and I don't, okay. And all these people underneath here are basically singing Trisha's what's the word I'm looking at? Praises. Trisha Paytas's praises. Do you remember when she did that I Love Jesus song? Oh, Lord. Okay. So anyway, and then someone said, the best way to stay out of drama is to insert yourself into said drama. Oh, this is somebody commented on me. This is from Grace. Grace commented on my thing about Jeffree Star. She said, we're basically just reading through the receipts. Did you get it? That's what we're doing. Isn't it so much fun? I know, these are my Dan Levy glasses. Don't be jealous. Okay, she said, the best way to stay out of drama is to insert yourself into said drama and call everyone a bitch. This is really going to push sales in that ugly ASS green puke palette. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from the Tube Beauty community. So then this other person said to me, you have made a lot of money off the lonely doll. I wouldn't bite the doll that feeds you. Wish I could retire off the back of one person. You know what? I personally wish I could retire off the back of one person too. Jeffree Star don't bring in that much money, honey. Okay, I'm sorry, he just don't. Not as much as back in the day, he doesn't. And I'm sorry, but this channel's not called Jeffree Star. This channel's called Peter Monn. I'm a drama channel. I make videos about all kinds of drama over here. I know that's a surprise to you because you probably have never watched me before, even though you follow my every move because I look. So thank you very much for the follow. But I do all kinds of drama over here, except for Nikki Tutorials because she somehow seems to stay out of all kinds of drama, and I really admire that about her. So aces to you, Nikki Tutorial, and to you, Jennifer, thank you for your comment. I too hope one day I can retire off the back of somebody. But I don't have an OnlyFans yet. Okay, next comment. Oh Lord, here it is again. We're back to Dennis's on Deaf Noodles Twitter. Charli D'Amelio responded to Trisha Paytas. This is no different than me reading the Reddit, kind of really. Charli D'Amelio responded to Trisha Paytas saying that she had the original version of the video on her Instagram. Oh, then, okay, so then Trisha Paytas comes out, right? And she posts this clip of Charli and Dixie D'Amelio being in the car and basically said that they were dancing, singing songs that had the bad words in it, okay? The cursey words, as Emily Baker says, the cursey words. The worst cursey word that you don't say, you know? And, so then Charli put up the original video, and that wasn't the song. It wasn't even the song. That's one of those moments where Trisha Paytas is like, you know, she's talking into her thing, and she's, what do you do with that, girl? Okay, well, I don't care. Squirt, squirt. Okay, anyway, and then all of these people underneath her had to comment about this, about the original version of the video. Someone said, okay, I'm just reading these comments underneath Deaf Noodles video because they are priceless, okay? Someone said, I didn't know this was the racist Olympics. Someone said, honestly, if I were their parents, I would be looking into legal action. This is becoming harassment. Someone said, damn, this is getting spicy. Someone said, don't come for Trisha if you don't want a whole mess on your hands. And all these people are saying stuff. Someone said, when will this end? I'm bored already. And you know what? I am right there with you, okay? So anyway, who said that? I should give a little shout out. Their profile picture is absolutely beautiful. Hold on a second. Who said that? Ari said, okay, well, when this end, I'm bored. Oh, it looks like Nicki Minaj, I think. Nicki Minaj? I can't tell. Anyway, it's so small because I have a screenshot so small. But anyway, so yes, it goes on and on. Now, I took some notes last night because I had some things to say about all this. And here's all my notes about it. It says at the top, James, Trisha, Charli, Dixie video. And, but you know, here's how I feel about it, okay? Hold on, I need to reference my videos. I mean, yes, after watching the video, I don't really know. Maybe they need to come out, maybe Charli needs to apologize. Maybe it's just to save face. Sometimes you do that, okay? Sometimes I think taking accountability is maybe showing other people how it came across. You know, be thankful for the 95 million people that you have. Do you know what I'm saying? Be thankful that your family is living off the career of you doing these 10-second dances on TikTok or whatever got you famous, okay? That's the one thing. The other thing I want to say is this, you know, it really makes me sad. I said it in a really great way on here, so I'm looking at it to say, I said, it's Thanksgiving week in the United States. Instead of focusing on Trisha Paytas coming for you, why don't you have a dance-off and donate the money to homeless people that won't be having a meal this week? I think that would be real nice. this is what is ridiculous to me about this, okay? At the end of all of it, okay? All of it. The James Charles, the Charlies, the Dixies, the Trixies, I love Trixie Mattel. The Pixies. Did you like that band back in high school? I did too, but you know what? My girlfriend back in high school, she was obsessed with the band, the Pixies. Okay, and I was obsessed with REM, and I had a crush on Michael Stipe. I had such a huge crush, right? So we would talk about music. I had a girlfriend in high school, and I would say, oh my God, I love REM so much. I love their music, but I would never say I had a crush on Michael Stipe. And she was a drummer, and she would say, not the drummer from Def Leppard, because he's only got anyway, she would say, I love the Pixies, right? And I would say, really? And she's like, oh my God, I'm obsessed. I'm in love with Kim Deal. Well, from the Pixies, who is the drummer. And I thought that Kim was a guy, because like, you know, some guys' names are Kim, and it wasn't. And I found out later, we both came out within 6 months of each other. I know, isn't that such a great romance story? I love it so much. Anyway, you know, I think it'd be really nice if these influencers that are arrogant, entitled, and just are all acting like a bunch of children, pointing fingers, blah, blah, blah. I say this on my Peterisms channel all the time, you know? I got my hair cut today. What do y'all think? Listen, I say this on my Peterisms channel all the time. One of the most valuable lessons that I have learned in the last 2 to 3 years, right, is that, and this is not about drama commentary, okay? Because if you think that that's all I'm doing is calling out people, it's me doing commentary on what is current and trending right now on the YouTubes, okay? That's what this is over here. But I say this on my YouTube channel, or on my Peterisms channel all the time. My Peterisms channel is where I read meditations. We're doing this gratitude book this month called Magic by Rhonda Byrne. And I just share, like, stories of mistakes I've made and how I've learned from them. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned in the last 2 years, you know, is that I always have this capacity to want to tell on somebody, you know? If you knew what that person was really like, if you knew what they did to me, if you knew what they were really like behind the scenes, right? You would think about them in a different way. Or let me shut somebody up with having like the most powerful thing to say, right? Which is why we're all applauding James Charles, which to me at that moment, I think maybe a classier move would have been to say nothing at all and just let Trisha Paytas run herself into the ground, quite frankly, okay? You know, if James called me and said, what should I say to Trisha Paytas? I'd say, I don't think you need to say anything at all. I think she speaks for herself. Now, you learn that as you get a little bit older, and I've only just really learned that in the last 2 years, that I don't always have to have the last word on everything when somebody has something to say, you know? Sometimes maybe you show greater growth, you know, and other things. It's like, you know, when they say, like Michelle Obama said, you know, when they go low, we go high. You know, you don't always have to act out in retaliation. You don't always have to show your ASS, right? You can just kind of rise above it sometimes, you know? Maya Angelou, one of my favorite authors and poets of life, used to say that all the time, you know? I don't have the need to do that today. I'm not saying I wouldn't defend myself, and I think it's a fine line between defending yourself, but I think this is kind of like, why are we coming, like, to have to tell the truth on this one person? I think most people have Trisha Paytas pretty figured out at this point. I'm just saying, okay? And what I realized over time was I can sit there and I can continue to point fingers at other people, and I can continue to say, it's about this person, it's about that person, if you knew the truth, blah, 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 whatever, right? And it's, yes, also about every time I'm pointing the finger, 3 fingers are pointing back at me, but more importantly, it's this, is that I am only here for a limited number of days on this earth, and when you are young, and when you are 16, and when you are 19, and when you are 21 or 22, right? You don't really understand this, but trust me, by the time that you make it to 48, and you've lost a mother who passed away at 64, and you've lost a lot of friends, and your family is very small because everybody's passed away, you get it. You get how precious time is, and you realize instead of investing all this time and energy on telling on somebody else and doing all this kind of stuff, I'd rather focus that energy and that time on improving myself so that I can be the best version of myself that I want to be on a daily basis. So that I can live, heaven is a place on earth. Do you remember that? From Madonna. Anyway, but so that I can live the best life that I possibly can on a daily basis, because I'm working on myself and I'm trying to improve myself. When you're pointing like this, you're focused on everybody else. You can't work on yourself while you're working on somebody else. And that would be my greatest advice to these people, right? You know? And my greatest advice to Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio's parents would be, parent them the way that you would parent them if they were still in Connecticut and they were still in school. And I mean, the saddest thing to me that all of these parents always allow these kids to do is not go to school anymore. Like, that is always the saddest thing to me. Because like even Dixie said in this interview, I have to have something to fall back on with this TikTok thing. I mean, they probably have more money than God at this point, right? But, you know, it's like continue to parent your children the same way you would parent them if they were still at home and this had never happened, number one. And number two, find some role model parents out there that parent their kids that had been child stars the way that you respect and admire, and follow in their footsteps, or reach out to them and ask them for some advice and suggestions. We don't do that enough in our society, I don't think. We don't reach out enough to people that do it the way that we wish we had, or have it the way that we have it, you know, because when we're younger, we just want the money and the fame and all of that. And this is the side effect of this. This is what's going along with that, right? The saddest thing to me is that this is now about the fifth situation that has occurred. I'm starting to wonder if a lot of this isn't just because Charli and Dixie D'Amelio and their parents are wanting a reality show, and this is hyping up a lot more drama around them, which would be good for a reality show. So that could be one thing of it. But, you know, Charli D'Amelio is a 16-year-old young lady that, for whatever reasons, no matter how rude, how disrespectful she is, she's 16 years old, okay? This is about her fifth or sixth time that she has had, like, a major, like, you know, fall down from, like, criticism she's received. That's a lot. Like, that's hard, you know? She obviously needs to have somebody, like, coaching her through these things. And if James Charles can't be that somebody, then maybe they need to get, like, a public image person around that's going to protect her from this stuff, you know? Because, like I said the other day, the Jodie Fosters, the Anna Paquins, the people that we saw that are successful today are the people that had people around them coaching them into success. Not just as the world's best, most popular, famous person, but as human beings. And we could all use that, you know? So anyway, let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.